Morning. How y'all doing today? I'm doing this video because I'm going to give you my analysis of the video I got up right now on the brake, the big large brake. Okay? What I came up with is this. This hybrid, or this Sasquatch, in order to make such a brake, he had to bend at least 9 to 9.5 feet in height. The length of his arm from his shoulder to his fingertips is around 5 feet. These guys are huge, man. You could do the math together, and I told you this brake was up around 15 feet. Do the math together, you would have had to been around at least 9.5 feet tall with the 5 feet length of the arm in order to make such a brake. So there you go. He was approximately about 9.5 feet tall. That, my friends, is a big boy. That is huge. To be that tall, he's got some ages on him, for sure. Anyway, I wanted you to know that. I just wanted to keep it up in the air as that, okay? Now you know. Secondly, I want to talk to you about something that happened here 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago today, November 17th. 2025 at approximately 6:10 p.m. Now that night, because we had some rainstorms, the whole sky was all covered with clouds, okay? There was no moon that night, no stars. It was just a blanket of clouds, dark clouds. Now, I was in my home, and from a distance, coming from Mount Lassen, which is right over here, almost from a distance, almost sounded like rolling thunder. But the thing of it was getting louder and louder, and it was as if it was moving. Thunder doesn't move like that; it's stable. And it was coming near and near to where I'm at, from Mount Lassen, which would be from my east. And apparently it was coming from the south side of Mount Lassen. I went outside my back door here, where I'm at right now, and I came out here to observe. Where once I got here, it was just before it was coming over my house. And all of a sudden there was this nosorious sound, extreme nosorious sound, but not the sound that you would hear that would jar you out of your home. No, this was different, completely different. I think you were only exposed to the sound if you were in the environment of the sound, which I was. When I got about right here and I'm looking up, it was coming over right here, exactly right here. It was flat over this way to the west. Whatever this was, I'm telling you right now, this thing was huge. It was moving in a slow, methodical manner, like this. The sound it was creating had a huge circumference of an area. It had to have been within a quarter of a mile. Like I said, you couldn't feel the sensation unless you were in here, unless you were out here. I looked to see my neighbors, I seen nobody outside that night. So I'm out here by myself experiencing this. This nosorious sound, all of a sudden, it went all through my body. It didn't affect me mentally, but I could feel it through my body. It was a weird sensation. I can actually feel what it was going over me. And I'm telling you right now, no way in hell was it a private aircraft or any kind of commercial aircraft. Whatever it was using as a source of power is what I was experiencing. No doubt in my mind. It wasn't like no kind of sound you would ever hear. And it kept moving slowly, methodically to my west. Once it got about right here, I could feel the sensation of the size of it. Although I couldn't see it, it had to have been only a couple of 100 feet above me. The cloud cover was a couple of 100 feet. But you couldn't see what was above there, but you could feel it, you could sense it's there. You could feel it actually moving, because the sound's moving with it. And then all of a sudden, I got this feeling, the size of it. This thing had to have been the size of 2 to 3 football fields in size. I shit you not. And that really raised my eyebrows. And I'm thinking to myself, how can something this huge not be seen or spotted on radar? Why isn't there an interceptor in the area? Because I say that because to my west is an Air Force base. To my east is another Air Force base. And this guy's right between, and he's coming from the south part of Mount Lassen, and he was heading right towards the west, towards Mount Shasta and the coast. From the size, I got the sensation of this craft, the size of it, it had to have been a sister ship. Now a sister ship is part of a mothership. I start thinking too, since it was coming from the south side of Mount Lassen, but nonetheless coming from Mount Lassen, I'm wondering if it had any connection to do with the reptoids that are living in Mount Lassen. I told you about them before. I believe there's a connection. At this point in time, I mentioned the Greys before, but I don't think the Greys have anything to do with this. I think this might be linked and connected to the reptoids. And there has been eyewitness accounts that they have seen them living, coming in and out of lava tubes adjacent to Mount Lassen. What really gets me is when it got to this point, none of the Air Force bases sent up any interceptor. That kind of tells me, you know, I've seen other UFOs since I've been here in 3 years. I've counted a lot of them. I've documented them. And they always come from the west and the east. And if they come from the east, they go right back to the west. I know right up here where I'm pointing, there is a wormhole, a gate. I've seen crafts go right in this vicinity and just disappear, period. But anyway, it flew off that way. The sound followed it. This went on, this had to go on for about 5 minutes at least. Then everything just disappeared and everything went back to silence again. Absolutely amazing, mind-blowing. But I'm telling you, I know it was a spaceship. No doubt in my mind, whatever it was did not come from this planet. Period. I know what I was feeling that night. And the definition of an Osirian sound is basically, it's a sound that is loud, deep, and impressive. But at the same time, it was, like I said, it wasn't the kind of sound that would jar you out of your home. Different. Whole different scenario. It was awfully freaky, to be quite honest. That's the largest craft that ever came in this direction that I know of since I've been here. Anyway, I just wanted to bring this up to you before I forgot about it. I was kind of holding off, okay, because I had to get everything together about it. So there you go. I'll let you guys go right now. You guys take care. Have a good one. Bye.